Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the screen utility, and it's a utility that allows us to have multiple windows open attached to one terminal, so we don't have to keep opening terminals and new windows to run different scripts that we would like to run. I'm in a directory that I've created to help me demonstrate this utility here, so it's just a temporary directory. I'm going to create a couple of scripts here just to help me out. And all these do is display the date and time repeatedly. So if we open up the man pages for screen, we can see everything we need to know about screen. Different things such as the Control A usage of, Control A C here, which creates a new window, and several other things you can do. But that shows you everything you need to know about screen. Now that we've seen some of the basics of the screen command, I'm going to show you how to actually run a screen. And you do that simply by typing the word screen. And it'll give us this little prompt here, and it's just basically the copyright information and the version of your screen program. If you hit space, you can just go through that. And we are now in the screen program. And so we're going to start off by running the second script that we created in the background. So we're going to sudo that. That's f2.sh, and ampersand for running in the background. And we're actually going to send the output to dev null because we don't want the output showing up here. So even if it's in the background, the output still shows up on the screen. We don't want that because it just gets in the way and it's really annoying. So enter. There we go, and it's running, and we don't have the output here. Now, to create a new screen, and this one will still be active, you hit Control A and let go, and then type C. And we've created a new screen. And so we can run this, the first script that we created, F1, I believe, yep, .sh, and we're just going to run that normal. We're not going to run that in the background. Make sure it ran fine. And yep, there we go. And all that does is show the date. That's what both of the scripts do. And if you want to switch back to the other screen, it's just Control A in. And now we're at the other screen, and we can do that as many times as we want to cycle through the screens. So we want to detach the screen with the F1 script, so we're going to hit Control A D, and that detaches the screen from the terminal. And it doesn't detach the other one, it's just the one that we were on. And if you want to see the processes of the scripts themselves, we can run a ps command, and we're going to pipe that to grep because I just want to see the information for the two scripts. And we get a bunch of garbage down here, but if we look here, we can see the information for the two scripts running. Now, the second number here that we see on both of these lines is the memory usage. It doesn't have the header showing that, but if you type this command normal without using grep, for some reason it does not show above here if you're using grep, but it does if you don't pipe it to grep. But as you can see, F2 is using more memory than F1. So F1, I think it's because we detached the screen and it's not running now at the moment. So alright, the next thing I want to talk to you about is lowering the priority of a process. And when you lower it in Linux, it actually, you're raising the number, but it's lowering the priority. So it won't be as much of a priority. Now we're going to start off by running this ps command, and we need to find out the process ID of a process before we change the niceness value. Now this PS command is a little more efficient than the one I used earlier in the video. It doesn't give out all that garbage at the bottom, and this is a better command to use. It'll be much easier to read, but it doesn't give you the memory usage. Anyways, this number right here is the niceness value that it is at the current moment, and by default programs have a niceness value of 0. This number right here is the process ID that we need to change the niceness value. So we're going to use the renice command -n to change the niceness value. We want to change that to +10 because that will actually lower the priority. It's backwards, I know, but so the process ID is 2196. When we hit enter, there we go, it's changed the priority, and we can prove that by running that ps command again. And as you can see, F1 right here is now 10, the niceness value, so it's a lower priority than F2. Not only are we able to change the niceness values of programs using the renice command, we can also use the top utility. So we're going to start top real quick, and we do need to use sudo, I believe, because it will not let us change the bash script niceness without it. Now you can see everything listed here. Our bash script has a PID value of 5264, as we saw earlier in the video. So if we type the R key, it allows us to change the niceness value of any PID. But if we type in +5264, hit enter, and it will allow us to change the niceness of PID 5264. So we want to change that to +5, which is actually a lower niceness. So we're going to hit 5, enter. There we go. And if we go all the way down to 5264, which is quite a ways down here, there we go. We can see that it has a niceness of 5. Now, earlier in the video we had detached the F1 screen from the terminal, and we want to return to that now. So we're going to do a screen-ls, and all that's going to do is list the different screens that we have. So we have 2 here, and the F1 script, I believe, is under 2142. The only way to really tell what you have running is to reattach the script or reattach the screen and look into the screen. If we want to reattach it, we just do screen-r and then the number, and that will pull up the screen. And as you can see, F1 is what has been running, and every time I use the mouse it does all this, but you can see that the screen has been running this whole time. So if we want to kill the screen, we're going to do Control-A, K, and that's going to ask you if you want to kill the window, and you just hit Y for yes, and it killed the window. There we go. Well, it killed the window, so we're in F2 now here. Now that we're in F2, we're just going to exit the screen. Now finally, we're going to want to kill the F2 script process. So what we're going to do is run that ps command again to find out exactly what the process ID is, and it's 5264. Okay. So what we're going to do to kill it is use this sigkill command. So it's kill, and the -9 is sigkill, so we're going to do 5264. I forgot sudo. I'm going to leave that in the video because that's an easy mistake to make. So I'll show you it does happen. So we're going to need to type in our password. And there we go. If we run the ps command again, we come up with nothing. And that filters out for the F script, so there's no more F scripts running.